Hello everyone, I'm Agymah and this is my world. Thank you for joining me. Okay, today video I'm going to talk about how to make friends and meet people while traveling. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to give you some of my tips on how I meet people and make friends. Okay, my number one tip. Chat with people on the plane. Now, normally, I leave out on early flights, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to talk to anyone. I do not want to talk to anyone. I'm usually sleeping. Now, normally, what I will do is talk to them returning because I usually leave on late flights, so I do meet people and chat and find out where they went or where they're from, and we'll chat. And sometimes we'll exchange information. One thing I did do one time that was interesting that I did in Panama, when I was standing in a really, really long line. I think I was in line for about like an hour and 40 minutes. Immigration's trying to get into Panama City. People were just standing around, all quiet. So I just started talking to people next to me. Then everybody started talking. And it was really interesting, and I'm glad I did do that because I met a brother from Cali. And he started telling me all these places that he had visited. And then he started telling me all the times he had been to Panama and telling me how much he loved Panama. I think he had said he had been to Panama like 6 times. And that made me feel comfortable because I really didn't know anything about Panama. It was just a last-minute trip. And so I felt comfortable knowing that and hearing that from him. And I think he did kind of tell me what hotel he was staying at, but I didn't have a pen and we didn't exchange information. But it was good because he gave me, just meeting him, he gave me a lot of good information. And also, when you go into these countries like Panama and Colombia, and they give you these forms that you're supposed to fill out in order to get in the country, and they're like in Spanish. And I was like, oh my God, I was all nervous. I didn't know what to do. And I started talking to this white couple, and they just started telling me what they was doing. So I just did what they did. And I appreciate them because, trust me, I was stressed out. I really didn't know what to do. So my second tip. Hotel employees. I did this in Panama City, and I also did the same thing in Colombia, in Medellin. When I see people giving me good service, I'm going to chat with them. I'm going to show them that I appreciate them. I'm going to try to make friends, get to know them a little bit better. And when I was in Panama City, this young lady was like really late at night. She really went out of her way to help me, even though she was busy. I started asking directions as far as like, where can I go to get some food? Because I was like really hungry. And I didn't want to just go anywhere. And she kept telling me about all these great places. And she really went out of her way to tell me how to get there. And she started writing everything down. And I was like, whoa, I was like really impressed with that. So I was leaving. And so I came back and I said, do you want me to bring something? Then she goes, well, a soda. And I was like, a soda? I can do better than that. She goes, no, that's not necessary. I said, no, I'll do better. She goes, okay, well, whatever you bring back is fine. So I went, got myself a nice dinner. I'll show you the picture of the dinner. And I brought one for her also, and the soda. And the good thing about that was, when I came back, she said, oh, I really appreciate you because, I didn't eat all day long and I didn't bring anything and I'm starving. And I'm like so happy you did that. And I said, no problem. So I also did that again later on because I didn't want her thinking I was just hitting on her. There was a young man, because she was like in maybe her late 20s. And there was a young man that was in his early 20s, very helpful. Always answered questions, always told me of good places, things that I could do in Panama. So I also brought him a dinner, And just before I left, I whenever I would go out to get dinner, I would I would pick up a couple of extra dinners, and I would leave it for them and stuff, and they were like always happy about that. And I did the same thing in Medellin, because this young guy who's always helpful, when I would like go down to El Discovery, and I'll take pictures of the menus, and I would go back to the hotel, and he would like read it to me and tell me what, oh, this is good, that's good, and he would tell me what the food was. And I appreciate him doing that, because that's not really his job, but the fact that he went out his way to do that. When I went to get my dinner, I brought him a dinner, and there was also a young lady there in the same hotel, La Cuenta, that worked there with him, and she always went on her way. So I would when I would buy a dinner, I would buy her something. And just before I left, I made sure I brought them both a dinner before my last day or the day before. Okay, and they like really appreciate that. The manager saw that, and he appreciate that. Or she appreciate that. So yeah, make friends. I didn't get to exchange information with them because, when I was leaving, the guy wasn't there. The girl was really busy and stuff. So whenever I go back, I'm gonna make sure I go back and see them, because I really had a good time meeting with them and working with them, and so and having them, just having them be there for me and giving me advice and telling me where to go and stuff. All right, number 3, the guests in the hotels. When you're in a hotel, yeah, you should chat with people. Chat with the people in the hotel. You want to know the people that's in the hotel. People are very friendly. As far as the hotel in Panama, I really didn't see a lot of people. Well, when I saw people like in the gym, I talked with them and chat with them. I did do that. But when I was in Medellin, when I would go to breakfast, I will always make sure the employees, of course, I would talk to the employees, the cooks, the waitress, everyone would talk to them. And I did make a friend with this couple who were about my age, maybe a little bit younger than me. They were from Panama City, and I was telling them, oh, I love Panama City, and they was all happy to hear that. And we exchanged telephone numbers and email addresses, and we chatted for a long time. And I asked them to join to subscribe to my channel. And I think they saw, the fact that I went to the country, and they probably thought that I was going to the country, chasing hookers. So they unsubscribed, and I really don't hear from them much, but that's okay. They were really cool people and stuff. So that's another way. Chatting with the guests, getting to know the guests in the hotels and stuff that you're staying. That's really good. Number 4, chatting with people in restaurants that you go to and nightclubs that you go to. Whenever I go to a restaurant, the people that work there, I chat with them, because I try to show them that I appreciate them. I make sure I give them good tips. I just try to, make them feel comfortable, because I want to feel comfortable and I want good service. I try to always find out who owns the place and see if I can meet them. And what's good about that is that when they may see you walking down the street, they'll greet you, they'll come over and say hi to you. That happened to me in Panama. That happened to me in Medellin. I would see some of the employees from restaurants, and I would be somewhere else, and they would see me, and they would like, oh, amigo, and they would say hi to me. And that's a good feeling when, the people are greeting you that you know from a restaurant or something like that. And yeah, that was good to see that, because I don't know if that would happen in America, but yeah, that happened to me in Panama and in Colombia. I would be walking down the street, and I would see employees that they would take the time to speak to me and see if everything was okay, or that I needed any help, or if I was lost. As far as the nightclubs, whenever I go to any nightclub, but this we're talking about Panama and Colombia, I always talk to the bouncers. I always try to be real friendly with the bouncers. In case you have any problems in the place, you want to know somebody, want to be friendly with somebody. So I always greet the bouncers. A lot of guys don't do that. I do that, and be very friendly with them. And I noticed in Panama City that these guys went out the way for me. When my phone wasn't working, this one bouncer and stuff, head bouncer, he gave me his telephone and let me call my Uber driver. Okay? Let me call my Uber driver. Okay, number 6. Meeting people walking down the street. Yeah, you can meet people walking down the street. When I was in Panama, you can meet people and make friends walking down the street for sure. When I was in Panama, I was meeting a lot of cool people on the buses. You know, people from other countries started telling me a lot of good stories, and I was like shocked that there was so many people from the Bahamas, DR, all these different places, little islands. And I was like, oh, I was kind of shocked that they actually travel to different countries. I never thought about that. But yeah, I met some cool people. I also met a young man who I consider a friend, and I do have his email address, my Uber driver. Good people. I had met him, and I would contact him always and have him as my Uber driver. And sometimes I still talk to him with, Facebook friends. Hadn't spoken to him in a while, but I got some connections. I got some friends in Panama City. I got some connections. I got some friends in Colombia, Medellin, Colombia. So when you're out there, don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. I met some cool people while doing tours and stuff. Like a tour I went on in Panama City. 2 tours that I went on. One is called the walking tour of Medellin. Met a lot of cool people from all over the United States. A bad young lady from Peru. She's a friend. I contact her once in a while on WhatsApp and we chat, and I'm hoping probably this summer to go visit her in Peru. She's a dentist. Okay? So please, when you're out there, get out there and make friends. There's a lot of cool people from other countries and they're like, they're happy to meet Americans. So do the same. Chat, speak. Don't be afraid. Okay, guys. So I just want to give you my tips. I hope this is of some help to someone. And guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I know you hear me say this all the time. I truly do. And I consider my subscribers as friends. And I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you. Okay, guys, take care and stay safe. Peace, guys. Agymah's the world.